Binge the full weekend free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
The Hitcher. This is a remake of a film. This is a slasher film that came out in 2007. It has a runtime of 83 minutes, and I watched it for free on Peacock. There were ads that do not help this movie at all. I would almost buy this movie, actually, because it was a fun ride. The fact that it's only an 83-minute runtime, obviously it's going to be a fast ride, but it was just the tension in this movie was just nonstop. It starts off right away. You see this couple that's spring break, college students. They're going to Lake Havasu to have a time, and on their way, late at night, as they're driving on to their destination, it's raining, it's dark. Out of nowhere, there's this guy that's car broke down on the side of the road. They didn't even notice. He's standing in the middle of the road, almost hit him, spin out of control, and thus begins this story of the hitchhiker that is just, like I said, intense. This is a movie I did not watch while on an edible, but this is a movie that I would recommend. I've recommended it before. If you are the type of person that enjoys an edible now and then, I enjoy taking edibles and watching intense movies, stressful movies. It kind of enhances the fear. I would recommend this one. Take an edible, wait like a half hour, 45 minutes, wait for it to kick in, and then watch this movie. And you'll probably have a real. It'll elevate the tension in this movie. This movie also has a great soundtrack. Great soundtrack. This is 2007. It's got a lot of popular music from 2007. There's this action moment in this movie where 9 Inch Nails comes in, and it is badass. Like, just the way the music elevates these scenes, and it's crazy scenes. It's produced by Michael Bay, so you're having some kind of really fun, interesting action moments, explosions, cars flipping, different things happening. But the whole story is these kids trying to get away from this hitchhiker, this guy that's wanting to frame them for his victims. Like, he wants them to take the fall for all the murders that he's causing throughout this film. And it's interesting. It doesn't really necessarily nail down the hitchhiker's motivations for why he wants to frame this couple. Maybe it's just because after that first moment where where it's nighttime in the rain and car spins out and they take off before, seeing if he needs help or whatever. Maybe it's him kind of getting back at them. Like, he's got this like moral reason to be doing this, kind of like this weird psychopathic moral reason to do it. But they never really go into it. You don't really know the backstory of this hitchhiker guy. And the hitchhiker guy is like an older, like he's in his 40s, like a grizzled dude. Like, kind of has the air of a nice family guy, like a father figure kind of a guy. But then, like, also switches into just the scariest person ever. But yeah, this is basically a cat and mouse movie where the hitchhiker is trying to track down these teens. These teens are trying to get away. They're trying to help people. They're trying to avoid the police, that the police think that they are the ones that are causing all these murders. It's a lot of fun. You get to see this story kind of from the different perspectives. You get to see it from the perspective of the police to see how crazy this looks, but also you get to understand that in the police there's an investigator that doesn't believe it's the kids, and you see why. You can see how the regular police officers would assume it's the kids, but then the kind of things that don't fit make it seem like there's a third person involved. And even up till the end, I think it's pretty badass. There are a few moments in this where the girl, who's kind of the main character, the woman in this character, let's just say she's the final girl. I guess this is considered to be like a tank top slasher film. I guess there were a lot of slasher films in the 2000s where the female protagonist is wearing a tank top, which I have no problem with. That's completely sexy as hell. But she's had many opportunities throughout this film to kind of cut the life short of this hitchhiker, and doesn't take the opportunity, and every time it leads to more bad things happening. But this movie is a lot of fun. I had never heard of this film. The only reason I heard of it was an episode of the Screen Drafts podcast. They were drafting the aughts slasher films, so slasher films that were released from 2000 to 2010. This one is one of them. This was, I believe, their number one on the list, which is a remake. I haven't seen the original. I should probably check out the original, though, to see how different it is. But this one was just so much fun. The Rotten Tomatoes for this movie is like 18%, which is insane. Like, I can see some aspects of it I thought the acting was good. I thought the writing was good enough. I thought the story was fun. I thought, like, easily this should have been way higher. It's just so much fun. And I don't think I read any of the reviews, so I don't know why the critics rated it so low. I mean, the genre aspect of it, because it's a slasher film, I guess, could potentially be one of the reasons. But knowing that it's that kind of a genre film when you're reviewing a movie, then you have to take into account what's going on. And maybe the fact that she didn't take the opportunity. She has a loaded gun multiple times in this movie that she could have easily just pointed at the hitchhiker and pulled the trigger, and then that's the end of the movie. And then she doesn't, up until a point anyway. Like, maybe that aspect of it is why it's rated a little bit lower, but 18% is ridiculous. The fan score, I think, is like 53 or 54% or something like that. So the fans do enjoy it more, but I would say this is, for the type of movie, if you're going into a movie called The Hitchhiker, and it's about a hitchhiker that is stalking these two kids for unknown reasons, and it's terrifying, like it should, I would imagine, would be rated better. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It fits, like, as far as a movie that hits those notes and does those things, I think this one does it a lot, really well. And it's just so much fun. 83 minutes is ridiculous, right? I mean, it's the perfect length. You know, a longer movie probably would have gone into the backstory of the Hitcher. You would have seen maybe some more motivations, why this hitchhiker is motivated to cause such havoc and to kill people or whatever. Maybe you would see a little backstory on the detective that believes that these kids, like, maybe there's an instance where this cop had a thing, and it's like, you know, maybe a little bit backstory there. But it cuts out all that stuff. You know, the movie starts, the boyfriend is picking the girlfriend up at college, and they're on their way to vacation, to spring break. And, of course, he's got the big muscle car or whatever, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's just so much fun. And also, like I said, aside from the runtime, which is short, aside from the non-stop story, there's no point in this movie where it slows down. It's constantly moving. But then to add on top of that, just awesome music from that time, it really opens it up. I mean, it makes it so much fun. And then you get, like, the way it's shot is really interesting too, because I'm sure the fact that Michael Bay is a producer influenced the director in a lot of ways, or at least maybe the director was chosen because they have a temperament that's similar to Michael Bay as far as how to shoot action. And this one's awesome. I mean, it's a lot of driving cars on roads out in the middle of nowhere in a desert. It's basically like, it seems like they started in, like, LA, and they're taking the 8 freeway. I think it's the 10 freeway maybe, east to Lake Havasu. I don't even know if that goes to Lake Havasu, but I would assume that's, I mean, the 10 freeway is just like you're just going through desert. Once you get past, like, Palm Springs and Indio on your way to, like, Arizona, it's just a lot of desert. And that's what this movie is. It's just a lot of desert. But it is a fun ride. I highly recommend it. It is free on Peacock. You don't have to be subscribed to Peacock. Yes, there are ads. If you don't want ads, I would recommend, if you are the type of person that likes an action-packed thriller kind of a movie, slasher film, I mean, there are definitely gory moments. There are gory moments. But if that is your cup of tea, if that's your bag, baby, I'd recommend just blind buying it. I don't know how much it is. I would imagine it's like, even if this was like $15, like it's a movie that I will watch again. If given the chance, if I see it pop up on a streaming service that doesn't have ads, because the ads really take you out of it. I mean, you're on this like really tightly edited, short action thrill ride, and then you're watching a Downy commercial. It kind of takes you out of it a bit. But if you got the extra change, I'd recommend buying it. It's called The Hitcher. It's the 2007 version of The Hitcher. I think there might be 2 separate sequels of it. I'm not entirely sure. I do know there's an older version of it that may have came out in the 80s, but I don't remember offhand, and I didn't look it up. So maybe I'll talk about that next week. Maybe on Rona Days I'll catch the original and see how they compare. But if you like a slasher film, it was the #1 film on the slasher film screen drafts list for the aughts. And it's called Hitcher. Check it out. Do yourself a favor and get yourself Kindle Unlimited. Go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Kindle, to get yourself unlimited books. That's right, unlimited reading, listening on any device when you sign up now for Kindle Unlimited. Go through my link and sign up. inspireddisorder.com/Kindle for your free trial. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com, and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!